Ashok. That was a very hard-hitting comment as to we have the capability, why aren't we exploiting it? We have the design and development capability in almost everything. I think there is a similar thing that I heard in one of the textile conferences where the textile industry veteran was saying, like we talk about farm to fork in the food processing industry, we have a similar farm to fashion. India is among the top 3 producers of cotton and synthetic fiber, and yet we export semi-finished, less value-added goods out of the country rather than going all the way up to fashion. While we consume a lot of that fashion here in the country, we are not able to make a big industry out of it. So farm to fashion is another topic that's appropriate for that. And renewable energy, very, very important. In fact, there is an article, I think, by Mr. Mahadeva here in the Industrial Economist, who is talking about why are we ruling out nuclear energy? It has become safer. It has become proliferation resistant. That technology has been more or less captured, apart from the 2 or 3 accidents that we keep talking about. Is it time to relook at it as part of the renewable energy bouquet? That's another topic that, thought for other people to think about. But we'll finally allow Mr. Ramdurai to complete the comments that he wanted to make. He was talking about MSME. Mr. Seshai has just joined. Mr. Ramdurai talked about how agile production methodologies have come into industrial production, how generics, we are among the leaders and command a great market share in the pharmaceutical industry. Generics, which includes biosimilars. So what about doing something in bio-originals and medical devices, so on and so forth. So Mr. Ramdurai, if you can complete it, then we can, I'll just read out the questions. We will probably take a couple of questions and finish with this.
You summarized well, Lakshmi. We might as well take the questions, please. So I've completed more or less.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
So there is one conversation. I don't know if Mr. Sumantran is still there. I just wanted to bring him on this electric vehicle that Mr. Jhunjhunwala is talking about. He says, I can make the batteries, I can make the controllers, I can make the motors, making a body, etc. is simple. I can integrate it. He says 200 to 250 crores of investment is what is required. I think my view is that a zero or maybe a couple of zeros are missing in that. What's your view?
No, okay. We just want to correct. Development doesn't take more than 30 to 40 crores. Production will take 250 crores. That's a different issue.
Right.
Development is not more than 30 to 40 crores. I just wanted to correct that.
I was thinking of production taking 2,500 to 25,000 crores.
Well, that depends on the number of vehicles.
Yeah. Okay, Sumantran, you want to come in on that? Okay. I don't think he's available there. So let me go to one other question that is there in the question box.
No, I think also, Lakshmi, just to answer Dr. Jhunjhunwala's question, Tatas are producing the Nexon EV today, and they have sold already close to 5,000 vehicles. And I have also test driven so that it's not a pipe dream. The price point is today between about 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs, depending upon the thing that you have. We are talking about 5,000 units today, but the moment they scale up, the numbers and the price points that you mentioned, 4 to 4.5 can be made, is definitely a possibility, and that's the direction. The recommendation is, sir, you please look at that vehicle and see it's completely indigenously made, except the batteries. But other than that, it's an amazing car, goes up to 220 kilometers before the next charge.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. That is, that's a very successful model that is there. And Ram, I don't know if you have any views on this battery swapping.
I think my view is the battery charging, where this Nexon, for example, is a charging on a 15 amp plug at the home itself, or at any place overnight, 9 hours or 10 hours. That's the kind of things I would see, rather than simply battery swapping and then what is the disposal mechanism, etc. I think when you're talking about ecological and economic benefit, you have to bring in some of those wastages and the disposal as a major issue.
Yeah. And it is generally said, I don't know how far this is true, the lead acid batteries, the recovery rate is something like 80 to 85%. And the people claim that in the lithium ion batteries, it could be as high as 90 to 95%.
Correct. I think
That's
you have
true.
any views on that,
See,
sir? Ashok?
lithium-ion battery, we are recovering almost 90 to 95% of material back. And that is, technology exists. Some startups have done it. We are actually putting a small plant at the research park, and it is true.
And one more question.
No, I think our waste disposal and waste to energy conversion or waste to carbon minimization is a long way to go, and we have to put all the efforts in it, and it's a public-private partnership with R&D integrated.
And one last question on the same topic will be cell manufacturing in India. There is a company, there is a startup that has invested heavily in people, a company started by Mahesh Godi in Hyderabad. They've set up a plant. They seem to understand the chemistry because they claim that they have a number of PhDs working and looking at the new batteries, the architecture of those batteries, etc., etc. So that's in the private sector. They're raising some funds in order to scale it up. Do you think large groups like the Mahindras or the Tatas or the Ambani should get involved in cell manufacturing, not to miss this bus like we missed the wafer manufacturing bus?
So I can say there is a Niti Aayog now plan to incentivize the cell manufacturing. The important thing in cell manufacturing is not that the cells cannot be made. Cells are actually made. Lithium-ion battery cells are made in about 5-6 places in the country in research labs. The problem is, what is even scale manufacturing, what is the cost? What is the amount of material that you take per kilowatt hour? Most of these are 125 watt hour per kilogram, whereas the world has moved to close to 300 watt hour per kilogram. If you do it at 300 watt hour per kilogram, your cost is going to be less than $100. If you do at 125 watt hour per kilogram, your cost is going to be $200, $220. To compete, we need to make $100 per kilowatt hour or less for the cell. The process plant is not difficult. It is a chemistry which keeps on changing every year and a half. It's like an integrated circuit. If you get stuck with the old technology, you are gone. My own recommendation strongly will be to tie up with a few companies internationally, get 5-6 such plants started. That is exactly what Niti Aayog is trying to do. They are going to provide the production link incentive to up to 50 gigawatt hour. And hopefully this will happen. This is a must. I think there are 3 parts: battery pack manufacturing. I don't see much of a difficulty. There is enough work going on. Cell manufacturing, and then the recycling. All these 3 things are required. Cell recycling is an industry where we can become the leader in the world, because that's a little bit more manual process, and that's where we can become the leaders.
Yeah, cell recycling is a clear area, and the second life of cells also is gaining traction in energy storage, and so I mean that's an industry that's evolving, and I'm sure we'll take a good leadership position, if not for the global market, certainly for the local market, so that the need for importing everything as we are doing today is greatly reduced. So with that, I think we'll have to call this session a close. Viswanathan has a comment. Yeah.
Can I make a small comment?
Please.
Ashok, this is a small input. We have attempted by the vehicle manufacturers on 2 major projects of producing a car to a price. A major problem. Ratan Tata attempted it for Nano. He fixed the price at 1 lakh rupees and made the entire industry fall back on it, and did produce that. Unfortunately, the Nandigram and other problems came, and it more or less initially killed that initiative, and later it stopped. The one more thing that Sumantran did was another brilliant idea that caught up very well, and it's a very successful model. For Renault, he developed that Kwid car at a price, pre-fixed price of 300,000 rupees. 97% of the components are made in India. In fact, Gon Kim, that chairman of Renault, came to release a car here. It's a great event. And Quid has been one of the most successful products that was produced at a price and of very high quality. And that platform is now expanded both by Renault and by Nissan. So my hope, Ashok, is that we should convince some people that we can produce it to a price and also to a quality. I think it lies in the hands of people like you and
I think 3.5 lakh car, the kind of car which is now beaten in China, beaten Tesla, can be done in 1 year's time, the development, in 2 years' time, full scale production. And it doesn't require that much. It requires industrialists who have guts to do that at 3.5 lakhs. Sell at 3.5 lakhs. It doesn't have to be all fancy feature. Look at what China did. Why did it beat Tesla? Why is the numbers in China being sold today higher than all the Tesla globally? I think this is we will not get anywhere as long as we sell 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 vehicles. We need to sell 100,000 vehicles. And I think that is what we need. But it is not just scale, sir. I think the important thing is the price of every component has to come down. By scale alone, it won't come down. By scale, it will come down some components. Scale, it will come down some extent, but I think we need to do more than scale. Well, that's all. Thank you. Thank you. I'm signing off.
Thank you very much, Ashok. And thank you, Ram. Thank you, Ram, for coming in and spending your lunchtime with us. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Bala.